Muy buenas, soy Sigiloco Games, estamos aquí en el Dragon Age Origins, continuamos la historia donde lo dejamos en el anterior video. Y bueno, como estamos aquí, estamos en el castillo de Risco Rojo. Y cogimos un ítem que nos va a ayudar, ítem digo, eso. Que es para justamente, aquí está, amuleto de la mala de Leistair, obviamente es para Leistair. Y vamos a darle, obviamente, a Leistair.
This is my mother's amulet. It has to be. But why isn't it broken? Where did you find it?
Y bueno, obviamente lo encontramos aquí.
Oh, the Arl study? Then he must have found the amulet after I threw it at the wall. And he repaired it and kept it. I don't understand. Why would he do that? Maybe he did. He might even have brought it with him one of those times he came to see me at the monastery. Not that I would have given him a chance, as belligerent as I was to him. Thank you. I mean it. I thought I'd lost this to my own stupidity. I'll need to talk to him about this if he recovers from his... When he recovers, that is. I wish I'd had this a long time ago. Did you remember me mentioning it? Wow. Huh. I'm more used to people not really listening when I go on about things. I don't know what to say. I'm honored. Thanks again.
Y bueno, ya creo que tenemos toda la habilidad de... Bueno, falta. Interesante, falta todavía. Bueno, el Liana y Mori ya tenemos todo. La alineación amistoso. Bueno, aquí lo que vamos a hacer es subir por aquí, por estas graditas. Porque tenemos más enemigos. Realmente aquí están los enemigos. Parece que están muertos, pero se levantan. No sé por qué, pero sigo siendo tan lento. A ver. Vamos. Listo.
You had it coming. Is that all you've got?
Vamos. Y listo. Tenemos todo. Vamos a recoger esto. Vamos por acá. Abrimos esto. Vamos por aquí. Están más enemigos.
It's either you or me. It's gonna be
Aquí tenemos un cofre. Bueno, estas cosas son regalos. Montaña de cadáver que nos sirve. Montaña de cadáver que nos sirve. Y vamos por aquí, ya tenemos otro cofre. Tenemos un libro. La vida del tranquilo. Y bueno, tenemos como una liana. Listo. Vamos por acá. Bueno, aquí ya estuvimos. Salimos por aquí. Y bueno, vamos a entrar primero aquí. ¿Sabes? ¿Qué hay aquí? Listo. ¿Qué hay aquí? Listo. Y bueno, lo último que vamos a hacer es entrar aquí, pero no vamos a ir por aquí. Por aquí no. A ver, tranquilos. Vengan. Vengan, que vengan. Eso. Listo.
I am your
He subido de nivel. Listo. Vamos, lo que voy a hacer aquí. Coger esto. Recoger esto. Y por último abrir esta puerta. Vamos a probar todo lo que tenemos por aquí. Bueno, recoger. Vamos a ver lo que tenemos por aquí. Por aquí. Y por aquí. Tenemos el arco del zorro. ¿Qué tal ese arco? El arco del zorro. Ah, no. Es peor de lo que tengo. Este es bueno. Y bueno, a ver, lista a ir. Aún no tengo nada bueno. Escudo de Artimon. Esto tiene resistencia a hechizos. Defensa 6. Vamos a poner el escudo de Artimon. Porque este escudo tengo desde el comienzo del juego. Bueno, eso nos sirve para nuestro perro. Bueno, aquí tenemos algunos regalos. El vino sirve para otro. Bueno, este es para el perro, obviamente, hueso de cordero. La naturaleza muerta en un marco de plata. Tal vez sirva para Morrigan. Ah, no, esto sirve para... creo... para Sten. Si es que no estoy mal. Y bueno, estas son cosas para vender. Y bueno, ya. Tenemos todo bien. Vamos a salir de aquí. Y no vamos a ir por aquí. Nunca vayan por aquí porque si van por ahí, hacemos la misión. Vamos a bajar. Y como he subido de nivel, vamos a... ¿qué vamos a hacer? Vamos a ponernos... 1 de constitución y 2 de fuerza. Y vamos a ponernos... 2 de fuerza más 10 de salud. El campeón no me gusta. Segador, no me acuerdo qué quedaba. Quiero ver que me da segador. No. No, segador no. Vamos a ponernos Berserker. Vamos a ver ahí qué nos da. A ver qué notificación nos da Berserker. La 2 de fuerza más 10 de salud. Esto nos da 2 de voluntad y 1 de astucia. No. 2 de magia y 3 de mental. Y esto nos da 1 constitución y 5 resistencia física. Prefiero Berserker. 2 de fuerza. Ahí está bien. Y vamos a, por último a ponernos este de aquí. Golpe mortal. No sé por qué no podemos poner nada más. Este de aquí, y después vamos a ponernos este de aquí, y vamos a poner este de aquí, y al último vamos a tratar de ocupar todos estos. ¿Listo? Vamos como vamos con nuestro personaje. Unos 44 de fuerza. Necesitamos más constitución porque nos están masacrando muy rápido. Y También más voluntad. Vamos a subirle un poco a 25 voluntad. Y resto a constitución. ¿Qué más? Constitución y a fuerza. Listo. Ahora lo que vamos a hacer es irnos a nuestro campamento. No, aquí todavía no podemos entrar. Esta es la parte natural del castillo. Salimos de aquí.
This should be easy enough.
Bueno, aquí están los enemigos que hemos matado. Y vamos a salir del castillo. Y vamos a ir a nuestro campamento. Porque necesitamos algunas cosas de nuestro inventario y vender también cosas que ya no son necesarias. Vamos a ver un ratito aquí el inventario. Ponernos aquí a... No... Ponerlo aquí, ya dejé ver. Tenemos esto. A ver, tenemos esto. No. Yo creo que esto está bien. Y vamos a ponernos aquí a Sten. No tenemos ningún anillo, nada que le sirva. A ver, esto es lo mismo. Este es peor. Este es mejor. A ver, este es mejor. Este es mucho mejor. Esto. Y ya. Y bueno, vamos a ver nuestro inventario por aquí. Vamos a guardar lo que necesitamos. No, que están... falta todavía verlos. Algunos. Estaba viendo por aquí. Alistair, Morgan, Stein, no. Shale. Este es mejor. Sí, mucho mejor. Vamos a ponerle. No es aquí, es acá. Listo. Bueno, aquí nada más. A Zebran. Tiene un anillo. A ver, Zebran. ¿Qué le podemos poner? Bueno, creo que no, todavía no sube de nivel. Tenemos Loquillo que ha subido de nivel. Vamos a ponernos ahí. Aquí más subido de nivel. Shale ha subido de nivel. Vamos a subir, bueno, obviamente solo esto y esto. Bueno, vamos a poner un poco de voluntad. Y vamos a ponerle esto. Vamos a... sí, he subido este. Vamos a poner aquí constitución y fuerza. Y vamos a ponerle... está más fuerza. Vamos a ponerle este. Y aquí más, aquí más. No, ni más. Y... a ver. Inventario. No, yo no. Se van, no puedo ponerle nada. Nada de nada. Y... vamos a ver. Aquí nuestras armas. Y creo que podemos ponernos esta. ¿Cuánto necesita? 34, justamente. 34. Justo lo que necesitamos. Esta es mejor, pero la otra es mucho mejor. Y... bueno, hay muchas cosas que vender. Vamos a poner aquí un cebra un ratito. Necesitamos más fuerza. Quiero ver un ratito a Alistair también. ¿Cuánta fuerza tiene Alistair? Tiene 30. Qué desgracia. Me falta bastante. Bueno, no importa. Vamos a... ponerle a la liana este arco, que es mucho mejor. Y vamos a ponerle unas flechas aquí, exactamente. Y bueno, vamos a guardar algunas cosas, por ejemplo, la hoja verde, la ballesta de guardia antigua. Esta vamos a vender, esta vamos a guardar. Sí. A ver. Tenemos 68 flemas. Esta vamos a poner aquí. 68. Listo. El resto de aquí vamos a vender porque no nos sirve para nada. Esta de aquí también vamos a vender. Excepto unas botas. Creo que estas de aquí no. Necesitan mucha fuerza estas botas, todas estas armaduras. Sí, no, esta necesita poca. 22. Esta necesita 26. Más de 22 vamos a dejar. A ver qué cota de malla. Esto vamos a vender. Esto vamos a vender. Esto vamos a vender. Esto vamos a vender. A ver, esto vamos a vender. Esto vamos a vender. Un ratito aquí. ¿Dónde está? El arquillo. Esto vamos a ponerlos. Esto. Esto vamos a vender. Esto vamos a dejar. Esto aquí, esto vamos a vender. Esto vamos a vender. Esto vamos a vender. Esto aquí vamos a vender. Esto vamos a vender. Esto también vamos a vender porque no nos sirve. A ver. ¿Qué más? ¿Qué más? ¿Qué más? Escudo de jame, patas rápidas, escudo de risco rojo, vender, vender, esto vamos a ponernos, y esto también vamos a vender. Aquí no hay nada. ¿Qué tenemos aquí? ¿Tenemos anillos? No, no tenemos nada. Y de armas, a ver, todo esto vamos a vender. Y de aquí, esto vamos a vender obviamente. Esto también vamos a vender. Y de más que guardar. Nada más. Bueno, aquí vamos a guardar. ¿Qué guardamos por aquí? Yo creo que vamos a vender muchas cosas. Pero vamos a guardar los regalos hasta mientras. Y estas de aquí son para vender. Y listo, vámonos aquí.
You and your friends are formidable folk, and
Listo. A ver, vamos a vender. Hacha, 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 hacha. Daga, espadón, mazo, mazo, mazo. El arco del tesoro también vamos a vender. Arco largo, vamos a vender. No vamos a vender ballesta, sí. Y eso no, y eso sí. Vamos a vender esto, esto, todas estas cosas. Sí. Botas de cota de más, sí. Vale, sí. Botas, sí, sí, sí. Vámonos, sí, sí. Cota de malla pesada, sí. Sí. Coraza completa, sí. Escudo, 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 escudo de java, pata rápida, escudo de... Todo esto vamos a vender. Esto de aquí también, esto de aquí también. Eso no. Esto sí, esto sí. Y esto sí. Ya, listo. Vamos a vender esto, esto sí, 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 sí y sí. ¿Listo? Aquí. Vamos a nuestro perro. Listo. Aquí. Este es mucho mejor. Y vamos a vender este collar de coronel.
Are you sure I can't interest you in this hat? I'm sure.
A ver. Ay. Esto, vender. Esto. Vamos a guardar aquí. Y vamos a conversar con alguien. A ver si es que tiene una conversación. Galiana.
I enjoy the nights at camp. The night always seems more peaceful to me, safer. I feel the night grants us a reprieve from the troubles of the day. Silly, isn't it? The darkspawn never sleep, and they lurk in the shadows. I enjoy those nights when we stand guard together, talking to pass the time in those small hours. Well, I talk and you listen mostly. Sometimes I succumb and fall asleep and wake to find you still watchful. And I know you're watching out for me. What I'm trying to say is that I trust you. I'm comfortable around you. I know you'll be there when I need you. You are our leader and my friend, and sometimes I think that maybe we could be more than that. Maker, look at me stumbling over my words like an ill-educated peasant girl. Some bard I am. There isn't much more I can say. My feelings have been laid bare. You are very special to me. Friends? Right, friends. I see. Well, I mean... I can't imagine why we wouldn't stay friends. Yes, I understand. Completely. It's you and not me. I should go.
Y así es como no haces una relación. Y evitas que tenga pues algo negativo. Otras.
I was just thinking about what happened to the elves, and I'm reminded of a song sung to me many years ago. It was when my mother died, and this wise elven woman comforted me and told me that we shouldn't fear death or hate it. Death is just another beginning. One day, we must all shed our earthly bodies to allow our spirits to fly free. It's a beautiful sentiment, I think. One that brings peace and hope to the grieving.
Bueno, una parte interesante de la historia. Otra
The
vez.
stars are out. It comforts me to know that the stars will remain untouched by the blight. That whatever happens down here, they will shine eternally. Their light undimmed. There is a story about that cluster of stars over there. Do you know it? Elindra and her soldier? A long time ago, there lived a fair maiden called Elindra. She had many suitors, but spurned them all, for she did not love them. One day, Elindra was sitting by her window in her father's castle, singing and dreaming, when her lovely voice caught the attention of a young soldier. Entranced by her song, the soldier drew near to Elindra's window. As their eyes met, he fell in love with her, and she with him. When Elindra told her father about the man she had chosen, he was furious, for Elindra was high-born, but her love nothing more than a common soldier. To keep them apart, he had Elindra imprisoned in the highest tower of his castle, and sent her soldier to the wars. Alas, not a month had passed before news of the soldier's death reached Elindra. Alone in her tower, Elindra wept for her love, and beseeched the gods to deliver her from this cruel world. So earnest was her plea, that the gods themselves were moved. They gathered Elindra into their arms and lifted her high into the heavens, where she became a star. The gods also raised up the soul of Elindra's soldier love, and there he dwells, across the horizon from her. The band of stars between them is a river of Elindra's tears, cried for her lost love. They say that when Elindra has cried enough, she will be able to cross the river to be reunited with her soldier. This story is one of my favorites, a tale of a love so great and so enduring that it defies death and moves the gods to action. Sometimes I ask myself, does such a love exist? Can it exist? I think I would be lucky to experience an emotion even half as pure and true as Elindra's love. The world gets lonely too quickly if there is no one to share it with.
Bueno, esas historias son como muy Tolkien. O sea, todo este universo de los elfos, humanos, enanos, tienen su base histórica en los libros de Tolkien. O sea, si es que alguien no ha leído Tolkien, tienen que para leer Tolkien. Porque desde con Tolkien nació todo este mundo ficticio de los elfos, de los enanos, de todo esto, ¿no? Y las historias que, bueno, que cuenta Liliana son algo parecidas a los libros, por ahí. O sea, si alguien ha visto El Señor de los Anillos, El Hobbit y esas cosas, bueno, ahí van a entender mucho. Tienen eso es Tolkien, pero antes de Hobbit y Señor de los Anillos hay también libros más antes que esos que hablan de la historia de los elfos, de sus grandes civilizaciones. Y bueno, aquí es como también como que algo parecido como El Señor de los Anillos, pero bueno, aquí no hay anillos ni nada cosas así. Pero es algo similar, o sea, hay orcos que son los malos. Ven ahí bueno, aquí el enemigo es un dragón. En el Señor de los Anillos es un señor malvado que era el creador de los anillos, que bueno, ya. Las historias son similares, parecidas.
I see you're still with Morrigan. I thought you said she didn't mean anything to you. What are you playing at? You tell me you like me, that I mean something to you, and you have her on the side? It's not fair to either Morrigan or me. Do you say the same things to her that you say to me? I suppose you need different girls for different days of the week? Morrigan when you want some rough tumbling, Liliana when you need a bedtime story and someone to tell you what a nice boy you are. Just show me some respect. Show us some respect, please. Wonderful people have their limits too. I care for you, more deeply than I can say, but I can't watch you going to her all the time. I see. That's your choice then. I understand. Excuse me. I have to be alone for a while.
Y bueno, aquí obviamente eso te quita mucha... Te quita mucho, pero
Something I can help with?
ya no puede hablar. Pero bueno, eso tiene fácil arreglo, Vamos por aquí.
You and your friends are formidable folk, indeed. I'm sure...
Y vamos por aquí. Y vamos aquí. ¿Dónde está? Este de aquí. Vamos a comprar unos 3. Listo. Y vamos a regalarse a Leliana. Aquí.
Why,
Uno,
thank you so much.
2.
Why, thank...
Listo. Y recuperamos todo.
Something I can help with?
Y bueno, ya. Ya no nos dice nada más.
You are not quite as callow as I thought. That is unexpected. You sound surprised. You must have heard this before. You'll get over it. Eventually. I was sent to be the eyes of the Antom. The Arishok asked what is the Blight. By his curiosity, I am now here. The one who commands the Antom, the body of the Kunari. A portion of it. Were you not at Ostagar when the army was overwhelmed? That is your answer. Why do you? Exactly. You don't ask, nor do I. The Arishok sends me and I go.
Vamos a ver.
Yes. I cannot go home. It doesn't matter now. Can we move on? We keep the Darkspawn waiting. Does it matter? Very well. I caged myself. A weak mind is a deadly foe, as you are no doubt aware. I came to your lands with 7 of the Beresad, my brothers, to seek answers about the Blight. We made our way across the Ferelden countryside without incident, seeing nothing of the threat we were sent to observe. Until the night we camped by Lake Calenhad. They came from everywhere. The earth beneath our feet, the air above us. Our own shadows harbored the Darkspawn. I saw the last of the creatures cut down, too late. I fell. I am told no others survived. I don't know how long I lay on the battlefield among the dead, nor do I know how the farmers found me. I only know that when I woke I was no longer among my brothers, and my sword was gone from my hand. Perhaps. I searched for it, and when that failed I asked my rescuers what had become of it. They said they found me with nothing. I did. I knew they didn't have the blade. They had no reason to lie to me. I panicked. Unthinking, I struck them down. I know I cannot justify what I have done. My honor is forfeit. That sword was made for my hand alone. I have carried it from the day I was set into the Beresad. I was to die wielding it for my people. Even if I could cross Ferelden and Tevinter unarmed and alone to bring my report to the Arishok, I would be slain on sight by the Antom. They would know me as soulless, a deserter. No soldier would cast aside his blade while he drew breath. If I knew where to look, it would be in my hand now. Near Lake Calenhad. Perhaps those words are empty, but thank you all the same.
Y bueno, tenemos aquí una nueva misión. Con este, con el que dice este.
You called.
Nada más.
As you wish.
Alice.
You know, maybe this isn't the best time to be thinking about this, but I've something to ask you. Chances are we'll be heading to Denerim soon. And when we're there, I wonder if we might be able to look someone up. I'm not talking about a friend, exactly. And no, it's not that sort of friend either. The thing is, I have a sister, a half-sister. I told you about my mother, right? She was a servant at Redcliffe Castle and she had a daughter. Only, I never knew about her. I don't think she knew about me either. They kept my birth a secret, after all. But, after I became a Grey Warden, I did some checking, and, well, I found out she's still alive. In Denerim. She's the only real family I have left. The only family not also mixed up in the whole royal thing. I've just been thinking that maybe it's time I went to see her. With the blight coming and everything, I don't know if I'll ever get another chance to see her. Maybe I can help her. Warn her about the danger, I don't know. Could we? I'd appreciate that. If something happened to her and I never went to at least see her, I don't know if I could forgive myself. Her name is Goldana, and I think she remarried but still lives just outside the alienage. If we're in the area, then, well, it's worth a look.
Y tenemos otra misión. A ver qué más. Y
Something on your mind?
nada más. A ver, con Sebran.
I've a question, if I may. Well, here's the thing. I swore an oath to serve you, yes? And I understand the quest you're on, and this is all very fine and well. My question pertains to what you intend to do with me once this business is over with, as a point of curiosity. Not precisely. I said I would serve you until you saw fit to release me. One simply assumes that once your Grey Warden business is finished, you would have no need of an assassin to follow you about. Am I wrong? Indeed. I might even be glad to call myself such, come to think of it. It is good to know what my options might be, but that is for another time. For now, we have much to do, yes?
Y listo.
What say you? Not everyone, but a handsome man like yourself. Why not? I am sure you are a man who draws many stares from women and other men alike. Does this bother you? I was raised in a brothel and trained to seduce whomever is required. Open-mindedness is a survival trait, and I learned long ago to make no such judgments. But if you would rather I desisted, I shall do so. I've no wish to make you uncomfortable. Your wish is my command. Now that that is out of the way, shall we move on? With my eyes fastened elsewhere, I assure you. What say you? By all means. Well now, I imagine that's a very fair question. Being an assassin, after all, is a living, at least as far as such things go. I was simply never given the opportunity to choose another way. So, if that choice presents itself, why should I not seize upon it? To be truthful, I didn't even know the crows existed when I joined them. I was but a boy of 7 when I was purchased. For 3 sovereigns, I'm told. Which is a good price, considering I was all ribs and bone and didn't know the pommel of a dagger from the pointy end. The crows buy all their assassins that way. Buy them young, raise them to know nothing else but murder. And if you do poorly in your training, you die. Oh, I don't know about that. The crows who are actually good enough to survive come to enjoy some of the benefits. In Antiva, being a crow gets you respect. It gets you wealth. It gets you women. And men. Or whatever it is you might fancy. But that does not mean doing what is expected of you always. And it means being expendable. It's a cage, if a gilded cage. Pretty, but confining. I certainly hope so. I have earned the crows a great deal of money, and none of it has come easily. As for what I'll do in the future, presuming that there is one, I truly can't imagine. It might be interesting to go into business for myself, for a change. Far away from Antiva, of course. For now, naturally, I go where you go. Eventually can be a very, very long time if one plays one's cards right. Come now, enough chit-chat. Talking about the crows summons them, you know. Any Antivan fishwife could tell you so.
Y bueno, como siempre.
What say you? By all means. And why not? There are many things to enjoy about being a... You are respected, you are feared, the authorities go out of their way to overlook your trespasses, even the rewards are nothing to turn your nose up at. As for the killing part, well, some people simply need assassinating. Or do you disagree? Now there's an interesting word, innocent. How many men do you know who can claim to be truly innocent? But if you're talking generalities, such as children, relatives, and bystanders and such, never on purpose. But it happens. It's unfortunate, but death comes to us all. If not me, then some wasting disease, or a fall down the stairs, or at the hands of a darkspawn. It's all relative in the end. Death happens, as we like to say, and when I get paid for it, death happens more often. As far as enjoying the act of killing itself, why not? There is a certain artistry to the deed, the pleasure of sinking your blade into their flesh and knowing that their life is in your hands. There are many things I did not enjoy about being a crow, of course. Having no choice, being treated as an expendable commodity, the rules, oh, so many rules. But simply being an assassin, I like it just fine. I will continue to do it if I can, even if I am not a crow. Honestly, could you picture me doing something else? Whereas I am content merely doing what I happen to be good at. It's a talent that not many come by, honestly. I don't see why I need not pursue it. Of course, all these thoughts are moot. Chances are still good that you and I will perish, eaten by darkspawn or slain by the crows at some point. Very gruesomely, I imagine. But it is pleasant enough to chat about. Come, let's move on while our boots still have some wear in them.
Y bueno, recuperamos todo. Vamos a dar aquí. ¿Y con quién nos falta? Otra vez con Sebran. Sebran.
What say you? By all means. My adventures? I'm hardly an old man just returned from across the ocean, am I? Should I shake my fist at nearby children while I talk about the good old days? Falling down a flight of stairs is an adventure. Falling into someone's bed, also an adventure. I am assuming what you're looking for are professional anecdotes. Let's see, my second mission ever for the crows was a bit intriguing. I was sent to kill a mage who had been meddling in politics. In Antiva, nobody is too important to escape the reach of the crows. They've killed kings and queens. That is simply how it is. As it turned out, the mage in question was quite a delightful young woman. Long, divine legs, as I recall. I caught her in a carriage on her way to escape to the provinces. After I killed her guard, she got down on her hands and knees and begged for her life. Rather aptly, I might add. So I joined her in the carriage for the night and left the next morning. Yes, but not on purpose, actually. The woman had actually convinced me to speak to the crows on her behalf. What can I say? I was young and foolish at the time. Then, as I was kissing her goodbye to return to Antiva City, she slipped on the threshold and fell backwards out of the carriage. broke her neck. Shame, really, but at least it happened quickly. Not actually, no. I was a bit unimpressed by the development at first. Then I found out that she had told the driver to take her to Janellen instead. She had planned to lose me in the provinces. I would have looked very foolish to the crows. As it was, my master was very impressed that I had done such a fine job of making it look like an accident. The Circle of Magi was unaware of foul play, and everyone was happier all around. I got stupid, in fact, and very lucky. It was after that when I learned that one needn't let a pretty face go to your head. Professionalism was key. That's my moral of the day, you see. And one that not everyone learns, I'm sad to say. But that's enough tale spinning from me for the moment. Talking about the mage has made me a bit nostalgic, I'm afraid. Ah, the good old days.
Sigamos guardando. Porque todos tienen una misión. Galiana.
Something I can help with?
Mm-hmm.
Yes? What's on your mind? My mother was from Denerim, and I consider myself a Ferelden. Mother served an Orlesian noblewoman who lived here when Orlais ruled. When Orlais was defeated and the common folk began to resent the presence of any Orlesian, the lady returned to Orlais. She took my mother with her. I was born in Orlais and did not set foot in Ferelden till much later. Mother was always telling me stories of her homeland. I think she missed it.
Mm-hmm.
Mother died when I was very young. Lady Cecilie let me stay with her. I had no one else. She was quite old then, and she had me study music and dance to entertain her. It is unfair that I have more memories of Cecilie than my mother. She was an elderly lady, very refined and proper. She had impeccable manners and taste, more so than a lot of Orlesian ladies. Cecilie was also kind. My mother was unmarried and with child. It was scandalous, and Cecilie had every right to turn my mother out. She didn't. Strangely, the only thing I really remember of Mother was her scent. She kept dry flowers in her closet amongst her clothes. Small white Ferelden wildflowers with a sweet fragrance. Mother called them Andrastis Grace. They were very rare in Orlais. But enough about that. Let us move on.
Listo.
Something I can help with? Yes? What's on your mind?
A ver.
I miss Valroyaux. Unlike other cities where the people are the lifeblood and the character, Valroyaux was her own person, and her people little more than decorations. There was always music in Valroyaux, streaming from the many windows, quiet refrains and triumphant choruses, and always, floating above that all, the chant, coming from the Grand Cathedral. It was magnificent. Oh, it would take me a day or two to talk about the many splendors of Orlais, her golden fields, her lush meadows. Of course, there are good things and bad things about Orlais, like anywhere else. Sometimes I miss it dearly, and sometimes I'm glad I'm rid of it. And you will laugh at this, but I miss the fine things I had in Orlais. I left behind much, leaving Orlais, but there is more to life than dresses and furs. It is sad that many have lost sight of this. Orlais is very fashionable, almost ridiculously so. But the shoes! Living with those ridiculous trends was worth it for the shoes. When I left Orlais, the fashion was shoes with delicate tapered heels and embellishments in the front. A ribbon, perhaps, or embroidery. In soft colors, of course. It was spring. I had my eye on a pair my shoemaker was working on. It was covered in pale blue silk with amber beads on the toe. The shoes made in Orlais were exquisite. Not at all like these clunky fur-lined leather boots you have in Ferelden. Ugh, just look at them. They're sturdy shoes, but sometimes a girl just wants to have pretty feet. Oh, I could talk about shoes all day, but we have things to do, don't we?
Listo.
Something I can help with?
Vamos a seguir hablando.
Yes? What's on your mind? Where did you hear this? And you believe everything you hear? Not all minstrels are spies. Most are just singers and storytellers, but some of them are what we call bards. Many use the two words minstrel and bard interchangeably, but to do so in Orlais would cause misunderstanding. Bards are minstrels and more. Spies, as you say. Some say there is a bard order, but I don't think this is true. Many bards work alone or in small groups, doing the bidding of a patron who pays for their services. If there is an organization behind it all, no one knows who they are. Some do. Mostly it is nobles spying on other nobles. In Orlais, there is much rivalry amongst the highborn. They fight over land, influence, and the favor of the empress. But they cannot do this openly because it is impolite, and in public they wear smiling faces and pretend to be civil. In secret, they plot and scheme to destroy each other. It is a game completely meaningless to anyone but its players. I have revealed too much, it seems. But it doesn't matter what I used to be. It is the past.
A ver, aquí hay algo interesante.
I found myself in Ferelden and sheltered from bad weather in the Chantry. And when the storm passed, I just did not want to leave. I like to see the Maker brought me here.
Y...
Something I can help with?
No.
I don't think you have the correct aptitude. I could give you some pointers, though. You may be able to pass them on to someone you know. Let's just go over there, away from the others. For safety, yes? I expect there shall be daggers flying about willy-nilly for a time.
Listo.
Something I can help with? Yes? What's on your mind? Of course I do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think.
Y bueno. Listo. Vamos por acá. Ahora sí ya tenemos la misión. Aquí más tenemos. Bueno, son suministros. Vamos a hablar con Morrigan.
I have something for you. Tis a ring. Now, before you get any foolish notions, let me explain. Flemeth once gave me the ring because it allowed her to find me no matter where I went, in case I was ever captured by hunters. I disabled its power as soon as we left the wilds. Recently, however, I thought to change it. Now, I will be able to find whoever wears it instead. It is not given out of sentimentality. I believe you are too important to risk. If you were captured, this ring would allow the rest of us to find you quickly. I have no desire to see us part company so soon. Not unless we wish to, that is. Do not read more into it than is there. You have supplied me with equipment. Certainly this is not so very different, is it? Flemeth used to say that 'twas a link between us. One that I presumed worked both ways. I never tested it, but I doubt she would have lied over such a thing, so it would mean I am linked to you as much as you to I. I do not know. As I said, I never tested it. Perhaps. Now you are mocking me. Do you wish the ring or not? I am tempted to simply keep it. Then here, take it. And let us not speak of it further.
A ver, el anillo. ¿Dónde está el anillo? Ah, creo que aquí. Ahí está el anillo. Ah, no, ese no es el anillo.
So, full of questions, are you? 'Tis the child abomination you speak of from the haunted castle? If what you seek is to remove the demon from the child without harming the child, there is a way indeed. There is a connection between the child and the demon, one which can be followed to the demon's true form within the Fade. There, the demon can be battled directly. Only a mage may enter the Fade. It requires lyrium and a group of mages to cast the ritual, neither of which we have, yes? And had we those things, it would still fall on one mage alone to defeat the demon. No simple task, but there you have it. So, full of questions, are you? I assume you were actually asking whether Flemeth herself gave birth to me. Truly, I do not know. I once asked Flemeth that very question, and she merely laughed at me. 'Tis not inconceivable that she could capture a chastened man, or perhaps change to a more attractive form to attract him willingly. I find it more difficult to imagine her with child. As a matter of fact, I remember her being younger once. She had black hair, much like my own, long and lustrous. But how could that be if she is centuries old? Has she become wizened only recently? Or are the tales of her legend only that, and nothing more? I do know the tales of Flemeth having many daughters, even though I have never met another. And Flemeth has always treated me as her blood. Must one be a doting and simpering moron to be considered a suitable mother? Flemeth taught me everything I needed to learn. How to survive, the meaning of power, the truth of men. If other mothers do not teach these things, then I believe them the lesser. You suppose it's true? 'Tis true. Take yourself. You do not honestly desire such things from me, do you? 'Tis better to be free of such cloying and cluttering delusions as love. There. I am glad you agree. I tire of this discussion. Let us move on, shall we? So, full of questions, are you?
Y listo. Bueno, necesitamos algo. Vamos a conseguir unas cosas para Liliana, que obviamente no tenemos aún. Y necesitamos unos zapatos. A ver, vamos por aquí. Y bueno, no tenemos aún, así que vamos a directamente a dejarlo por aquí. Y bueno, ha sido todo por el video de hoy. Espero que les haya gustado. Y lo que tenemos que hacer aquí, tratar de conseguir todas las misiones personales de nuestros amigos. Pero lo dejaremos cuando ya tengamos absolutamente a todos. Nos vemos la siguiente vez.